Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Dr. Tina McCray of BGM Dementia Services. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and the overseer of Without a Trace Ministries, where we have believed in the liberating power of the Lord Jesus Christ. And so we are so excited. When I tell y'all, y'all see how we've been posting all week long about tonight. We are so excited tonight about what you're going to experience tonight. If you are on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, we want to welcome you. And those that are planning to get on, tell somebody that they need to join this Bible study. It's not even going to be Bible study. This is going to be a true Wellness Wednesday, and we're going to share the Word of God at the end. But I'm telling you, you need to get on. So we're going to share a few things about what is Wellness Wednesday. Why are we doing this? So let me share in a little bit and let you know what we're doing. Hold on. And I'm telling you, we are ready for you tonight. So what is Wellness Wednesday? My mom Barbara Jean Metcalf had Alzheimer's disease. She was diagnosed. She started out with mixed dementia, and we didn't know what to do. The doctor, all he told me was get the book 36-hour day. And from that experience, like I said, got my certification as a dementia practitioner, and we started BJM Dementia Services in partnership with Alter Dementia. You see that logo down the bottom, and they help churches alter the way they do church for people living with dementia and their care partners because they want people to come back and feel connected, be a part of community. But there's some people that just can no longer get out. So we created Wellness Wednesdays to help talk about brain health, to give caregivers a time of respite with their loved one, and for people living with dementia to continue to learn, to thrive, and for everyone to grow. And so we believe that you're going to have a time of connection or fellowship, a time to have fun while learning. Your felt needs are met. You're going to receive the word of God, and you're going to feel like you're being heard because you can get on Zoom with us. A lot of times people don't give that feature anymore, but you can join us on Zoom, ask questions. And even if you're on live on YouTube or Facebook, put your questions in the chat. There is someone monitoring that, and we can answer your questions right then and there. So, again, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We do have a disclaimer that we want to read. You think, oh boy, look at that. But what it's telling you basically is that all the contents and features that we offer and share are informational, educational purposes, and to help you with some practical principles with biblical foundations. We're not here to replace your primary care physician, your neurologist. We're not here to give diagnosis, all right, or any type of thing like that. We're not here to give medical advice or that type of thing. So the things we feature here is information from AARP Staying Sharp, as you've seen before, the six pillars of brain health, or the Alta Dementia, dealing with dementia. It's so many um, products and information that we have to share. And that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be so educational. I'm excited about our relationship with the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission, North Area Agency on Aging. This organization has been wonderful, and they have an aging and disability resource connection. And tonight we have a special guest, Megan Vogt. And I want you all to receive Megan. I don't want to take up her. She's going to tell you all about herself and what she does. And I want her to have all the time she needs tonight to speak to you about the wonderful resources that changed my family's life. I'm here to tell you as a testimony what she's here to share. If you're saying as a caregiver or you have dementia and this is not just for people with dementia tonight, because if you need help and you're disabled or elderly, period, this is going to bless somebody. So tell your loved ones to get on and join us tonight. Megan, I want to just take time to welcome you. I'm going to stop sharing so they can see you and I can see you. Welcome tonight to Wellness Wednesday, Megan.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Tell the people a little bit about yourself. You want me to start the PowerPoint and then you can share your credentials and your why behind what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
My name is Megan Vogt. I am the Aging and Disability Resource Connection Senior Manager. The Aging and Disability Resource Connection is part of our area agency on aging. I've been with the agency for almost 13 years. I came to be interested in aging like most people. You see something going on in your own family, and you really wonder, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to support older adults in our communities to live their best life, to thrive, and to be as independent as they can for as long as they can. So that brought my interest to studying public health. I have a master's in public health, and the University of Georgia has an Institute of Gerontology. When I was there, they didn't have a master's of gerontology yet, so I have a certificate in gerontology, but they do now have a master's in gerontology because the subject is so popular. They offer great resources themselves. So it's amazing to be in a town with the University of Georgia who offers so many resources through their institute on gerontology as well as their dementia center, the Care Center.
Wow. So you're located in you said University of Georgia, right?
Athens, Georgia.
You're in Athens, right? So she's coming all the way from Athens, Georgia with us
Mhm.
tonight. Thank you, Megan.
Mhm. Mhm. And you can proceed to the next slide. So I always like to include this with our slides. This was a campaign that our state unit on aging called the Division of Aging Services had done for us. Gosh, this is probably 10 years ago now, but they had these billboards all over our region. And it was very simple. It says ADRC, one call opens doors. And the idea was to promote the Aging and Disability Resource Connection. This is available for anyone all over the state of Georgia. Yes, we're split up in our different regions, but we provide information about a lot of the programs are also statewide. And so I wish we still had this campaign. I thought it was very effective. I really liked it. Next slide. So our mission at the Area Agency on Aging is to improve the quality of life for older Northeast Georgians and adults with disabilities, and to assist these individuals in achieving maximum levels of health, independence, and productivity. Special consideration is given to assuring services for those with the greatest social, economic, and health needs. Our mission was developed in consideration with the mission and values of the Division of Aging Services. Our purpose is to provide access to information on community resources, allowing older and disabled individuals to remain independent. Next slide, please. And this is our region. So we're located in Clark County. Our office is located at 305 Research Drive. However, we are currently undergoing a renovation. We usually welcome people to come visit us at the office, but right now, since there's construction, it's not really safe and we're not there. But thankfully, most of our services anyway are provided over the phone. So we are available Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and we have someone who's answering the phones live. So this is our region. We stretch out to Elbert County down to Jasper County. If you're from outside of our region, we can direct you to the area agency on aging that serves you. But we can also provide general information referral because a lot of the other regions have the exact same programs. Next slide, please. So the programs that we have in the Aging and Disability Resource Connection include information and referral assistance. So that's someone calls us, they have a question about long-term care resources, resources for individuals with disabilities, caregivers, and we provide that information. And then they move on. That's information referral. It sounds very simple, but lately, I mean, for years, and actually specifically lately, I've been hearing a lot of people who say, I've been making all these calls and I'm just not getting anywhere. And our goal is for you to call us. You speak to someone who's got accurate and unbiased information. Another program we have is the home and community-based services. These programs are non-Medicaid funded, and that's how we distinguish it from the elderly and disabled waiver program, which is a Medicaid program. So we complete intake for one of the five Medicaid programs in Georgia that pay for long-term care. We also have Money Follows the Person and nursing home transitions, case management, and options counseling. Next slide, please. Excuse me. So the Home and Community-Based Services Program is funded by Older Americans Act, which was passed and signed in 1965. So this program provides funding for the following services: congregate meals, so that's the services provided at the senior center; home delivered meals, which is Meals on Wheels; personal support services, which is help with bathing, dressing, and grooming; homemaker services, which is help with housework; and adult day health services. Next slide, please.
So now I have a question. Then
Mhm.
did you say this is the one that is non-Medicaid?
Correct. So this is not funded by Medicaid. This is money that the Division of Aging Services receives from federal government to provide these services. So every state has some Older Americans Act program. They might call it something different. We call it the Home and Community-Based Services. And we do distinguish it from the Medicaid program because, as you'll see in a couple slides, there are a lot of criteria for the Medicaid program. That's not for everyone.
Hmm.
One way to put
I
it.
I really wanted because I come across a lot of people, Megan, that need this and they are going to the wrong place and being told they need to have Medicaid. And you have people that don't have Medicaid, but they need these services. So I'm hoping people see this today, not just people with dementia and their caregivers, but people with cancer and other situations. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, we hear that a lot too, especially when we explain that we do intake for the Medicaid program. They say, "Well, I don't have Medicaid." And that's okay. You don't have to have Medicaid even to apply for the Medicaid program. And I can explain a little bit more about that later. One thing I should mention about Older Americans Act is you have to be 60 and older. And then other criteria, we need to demonstrate that the person who's applying is most in need. And we do that by an assessment where we ask what you're able to do on your own, and then we also want to reflect the unmet needs. So, do you have someone in the community who's helping you do those things? And if not, we want to document that. So we're basically every time we're screening somebody, we're making a case for why you should be on the waiting list, why you should be considered for the funding. So this is a little bit more details about the home and community-based services in our region. So in our in other regions, they get the money, they do it a little differently maybe, or they might do it exactly like we do it. So we have two providers who are licensed home care providers. So that means they're licensed by healthcare facility regulation. If you ever get a chance to look at the Georgia Healthcare Facility Regulation website, that's a good resource for like reports about nursing homes, assisted living, home care providers, and you can see if there were any complaints against those providers and find out what's going on. I personally really love the Healthcare Facility Regulation website because it provides us with a lot of information that we need. We can verify if a company is licensed to provide the services they're saying they can provide. And of course, we can also look at inspection reports for nursing homes and assisted livings to see what's going on and how those complaints were resolved. But
I
anyway,
love it. I love it
we
too.
have
I
two.
used it.
Oh, great, great. Yeah, I really love it. Once you get used to navigating around it, it's really great.
Mhm.
Our two providers for in-home supports are Always Caring and Help at Home. All of our Northeast Georgia counties have a waiting list for these in-home support services. So those services include personal care, so that's help with bathing, dressing, and toileting; homemaker, so that's help with laundry, light housekeeping, running errands; caregiver services, that refers to an aid to give the caregiver a break and assist the care receiver with their needs.
Yeah.
So these services, usually we can provide 6 to 10 hours a week of aid help. And that's important for people to understand when they are weighing all the options for services. For some people, that might be exactly what they need. For others, they might need to consider some other ways to get help remaining in the community. Home and community-based services also provides adult daycare, so pays for adult daycare, which is a really innovative service. In our region, the Athens Community Council on Aging is the provider. They're located at 135 Hoyt Street in Athens, Georgia. And so they're our adult daycare provider for the region. You can visit anytime they're open. They open at like 7 o'clock, and then they're there I think until about 6. They always welcome people to come and visit the facility. You can usually go there for at least a day and just get a feel of it, see if it's something that your care receiver or yourself would be interested in. Adult day health is for older adults or individuals with disabilities who need supervision. So they might need help with personal care, they might need help with medication oversight, but it is a great way for a caregiver to get respite. And they do currently have a waiting list for that service, but not a long one, actually. They admitted a few people recently, and so we don't have a whole lot of people on that waiting list right now.
So,
Next
but
slide, please.
if you serve all the other counties, do they have to go to Athens to that adult daycare? But or can they find adult daycare in Newton or in Walton or one of those places, or they have to go to the one in Athens?
So under this program, the Athens Community Council on Aging is the only provider.
Gotcha.
So under the Medicaid program, they have more choices.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so that brings me to the Elderly and Disabled Waiver Program. So this is one of 5 Medicaid programs in our state that provide long-term care. So this is a program that helps pay for aides like certified nursing assistants to come to the home and help with daily needs. So these programs serve as alternatives to nursing home care. In Georgia, we have two of the waivers are specific to individuals who have developmental disabilities. So Down syndrome is an example. Another one that is specific to people who are between the ages of 21 and 64 that have physical disabilities, that's called the independent care waiver. And then our waiver is for individuals who are 21 and older and have a physical functional impairment. So that means they have to have something like dementia, heart disease. A lot of our applicants have like complications from stroke. So one side is weak, one side has paralysis, amputations. So just something that's physical and functional that is impairing their activities of daily living. So Medicaid pays for nursing home care through nursing home Medicaid. So that is the way most people in Georgia pay for their nursing home care, because it is several thousands of dollars a month. So most people do not have that to pay out of pocket. So the nursing home will assist them with applying for nursing home Medicaid. So instead of that, the state can provide those services in the community for much less. So I always like to say, yeah, it's great, living in the community, everyone wants to live in the community, that's all well and good. But at the end of the day, one of the many reasons I like our programs is that they save everyone money. It is much cheaper to provide these services either through Elderly Disabled Waiver or Older Americans Act to people in their own homes rather than in facilities. Most people want to be in their own community. It's cheaper for the state. It's a lot better. We're
Yes.
all a little happier. At least I am. I haven't met anyone who disagrees with me yet. Next slide, please.
Exactly. This helps people age in place, we call it. You can
Correct,
stay home,
correct. And I think
right?
that's what most people want to do. And in 13 years, I haven't met a lot of people who didn't want to do that.
Right.
So the eligibility criteria. So I know I called it Elderly Disabled Waiver. It's also called the Community Care Services Program. I might have picked this off from another presentation. But you must be 65 and older or have a functional impairment. So I did mention the 21 and older earlier, but the focus is really on individuals who are older. But if they're not, then we just have to prove that they're receiving Social Security disability. So they have a disability decision. They have a functional impairment. So the income limit for the program is $2,982 a month. So that's from Social Security, pension, any monthly income. And then we also have resource limits. So there's $10,000 set aside for burial and $2,000 in other resources. So an applicant can't have more than $2,000 in a bank account, or savings. This is a very basic snapshot of the financial criteria. I mean, it is comprehensive, But we really do need to have a one-on-one conversation because there's more to explaining what some of the criteria are going to be for each individual person. And that's what we do is we take time to talk about, we get your information, what your income is, what your resources are, what the source of the resources are to make sure that it actually is within the resource guidelines. And then we can advise if you're appropriate for the program and what you will have to agree to if you apply for the program.
So,
Next
Mother,
slide.
do you get people, and maybe you'll touch on this, where they have, I'm looking at that income criteria, and there's some people who don't meet that criteria, but they have Medicaid, but they still can't afford to get the in-home care that they need. And I'm hoping that you can help us talk through that somewhere.
Yes, so there is an I don't have a slide about it on this presentation, but there is something called a qualified income trust or a Miller trust. So if there's an applicant who is over the income limit, then they can work with our elderly legal assistance attorney, Mark Franklin. So that's our elderly legal assistance attorney um, here in Northeast Georgia, and they can get a Miller trust, which is basically a way to take the extra money that they're over in income to qualify them for the program. They do that for applicants of nursing home Medicaid as well as this kind of Medicaid.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm. And so these services include adult day health. So just like I mentioned, the Athens Community Council on Aging, they actually can accept several different funding sources. So they can serve people under Older Americans Act. They have private pay, and then they yeah, they're also Medicaid providers. So when you were asking about other options for adult day health for people who don't live in Athens, there are other providers under the elderly and disabled waiver that are adult day health that the clients that are enrolled in the program can attend. So once you're enrolled in the elderly and disabled waiver, it's comprehensive. With the
Mhm.
Older Americans Act, it's you you get the services kind of a la carte. But when you're in elderly and disabled waiver, once you're in it, you have access to care coordination, so case management, which is mentioned down there. And then you have access to some other options. So emergency response system, that is a life alert system. So that's included in the program. That's a great resource if you can get that. Personal support services. So that's a big reason people come to the community care program is that they're needing help with bathing, dressing, toileting. And personal support services is an aid that helps with those things. Alternative living services refers to personal care homes. So under the program, you can move to assisted living. Now, not every assisted living is a participant in the elderly disabled waiver. There are certain ones. So you might see a big assisted living in your city and think, well, I'll get on CCSP and I can live there. Not necessarily. For example, in Athens, Whispering Pines, they are located on Cedar Shoals and they have been a provider for this program for a long time. But that is one example. And then personal care homes and assisted livings are always becoming providers. So even if they're not a provider today, maybe they will go through the process of becoming a Medicaid provider in the future so they can serve more people. Yeah. And so structured family care is one of the services under elderly disabled waiver. There seems to be a lot of confusion that structured family care is a program set aside on its own, but it's actually a service. So it's an
Mm,
option under the Medicaid long-term care program, and
mm.
it's currently a very popular option. I hope that I can answer questions about this. We started at I think around 2021, and it came out of what I think is a great need. There are a lot of care receivers who would rather have their family members be the caregiver. It also helps address the workforce issues that the providers have. So if they can't hire aides, which is the case in some counties, you find aides all over the place. Some counties they really struggle to hire. And so one way to address that is, well, there's a family member who is not working, they live in the home, and they are already doing this care. So that's what we hear a lot when people are calling about structured family care. They say, well, I've already been doing it. Maybe I should get paid. So this is a service that will pay a caregiver who's related to the care receiver. lives in the home and is not working. So that means no work from home. You have to be living in the home to be considered the caregiver. So the caregiver stipend is around $1,600 to $1,700 a month. The provider of the structured family care service pays the caregiver. So once you're in the program, you've got your care coordinator, and then your care coordinator is going to connect you with a provider of structured family care. So some of those providers also provide personal support services. So they do both. But that provider is who's responsible for helping you get trained, and they are the ones who will make sure you get that caregiver stipend. They're also the ones that you will check in with daily. So for if you are a caregiver and you're receiving that stipend, you check in daily to make sure that just to say what's going on with the care receiver and make sure that they're getting the care that they need. Next slide. Now, are there any questions or thoughts about structured family care before I move on to our
Yeah.
transitions programs?
Gina, any questions and any
That I
comments?
know that that is a hot topic.
It is. Because I think some of the things that you talked about was that you have to you can't be have a job. You have this is your job basically, because
Yes.
a lot of
Yep.
people it is. I
Yep.
know people that lost they couldn't work. They had to be there. So
Yep.
but the checking in daily, I don't know if people knew about that. Any questions about any of these programs? I know EDWP is one that we got on. And so when people call, I want you to be able to give us Mark's contact information at the end. I want to make sure we get that for that qualified income trust. Gina, you'll let us know if there's questions.
No, there aren't any questions currently. A lot of comments of just really appreciating a lot of the information that's being shared. Some information, like Megan stated, wasn't as clear that certain services or services instead of programs, and also especially about I know I was even shocked about that certain people can get assistance even if they're 21 years old. So that was something that was definitely brought up about the that. So yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
Mhm.
And I know you didn't ask for this in when you wanted us to come on, but I have to, I can't get away without talking about the transition programs. Transition programs that we have, I'm very proud of them because you remember when I said earlier that we don't like having to spend $10,000 a month for somebody to be in a nursing home. Well, Money Falls the person came out of that desire. So this is money that we receive to help somebody move from the nursing home back to their community. So Money Follows the Person is one option. So if you've been in the nursing home for at least 60 days and you're 21 years or older and you have nursing home Medicaid, and then you'll have a Medicaid long-term care program when you discharge, then you can be considered for this program. So this is statewide. So of course, we are focused on the nursing homes that are in our region. But in order to get started with that, the social worker will contact us. But lately, it's mostly been families that'll contact us, and we've gotten connected that way. And that's totally fine too. Our options counselors will come to the facility and they will meet with the person who's interested and talk about what the options are. And then if they seem appropriate for the program, then we do some paperwork and some assessments face to face, and then get them connected with a transition coordinator. Here at the Area Agency on Aging, our Money Falls Person Transition Coordinator is Katura Patterson, and she's been working with the program a long time, and we've had many successful transitions. So it's just the best feeling ever to help someone who's been in a nursing home where they really didn't want to be and they wanted to come back to their community, and then they can come back, and because sometimes you really just need a little bit of financial assistance. So the program provides financial assistance to help like with utility reconnection, apartment deposits, and groceries for the first few weeks of your home, assistive technology, and home modifications, whatever the applicant needs to be in the home independently. And then we follow them for 1 year. So they have 1 year working with the transition coordinator to ensure that everything is going well. And we've had some really great success stories from that program.
Oh my goodness, Megan. I gotta applaud you on this one and thank you so much for sharing this because I don't know how many of you all listening and watching this, but you wish you had have known about this if you when I was a carer. My mom passed away in 2024, and I know some people that I want to ask you this. I know people that took their parent out of the nursing home and took them back home, but I don't think they knew about this program. And so, what about people with dementia? Let's say, our family, we believe we could bring our mom home, but we didn't have this type of thing where the money could follow us to bring her back in community and have the resources that we needed. Can it be a person with dementia in a nursing home can come home?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of a couple of my transitions last year. There definitely was somebody with dementia. What makes any person successful in Money Falls person is community support. So the transition coordinator talks to them about what is their community support like. So the one person I'm thinking about, they had family that was ready to embrace them and support them. So that really made a huge difference. When they discharge, they have to have the Medicaid long-term care program, so they'll
Mhm.
have aides coming to the home. But if someone has dementia, yeah, that they're if they have good family support, and then they could absolutely be a great candidate for the program.
Wow, this is phenomenal. I'm so glad you put this in here. I mean,
Okay, good.
I want to do some emojis and everything. So let me keep going.
Sure,
This is making
sure.
me want to cry. Like
Oh
I wish
no.
I knew about
Okay.
this. This is beautiful. Thank you.
We
Thank
have a
you. Thank you.
question.
Go ahead.
Elder Angela asks, how do we find out our state providers from if they were to live in a different state, how would they find the equivalent of these types of programs and services in their state?
So let's
I
say
would encourage,
Tennessee.
yeah, that's a great question. I would encourage them to search for if whatever their state is, aging and disability resource connection. That's the way most of our types of services are identified. Area Agency on Aging or Department on Aging. I actually did research for a family member in Texas just a few days ago, and I just put in like Austin, Texas, Aging and Disability Resource Connection, and I found exactly what I needed. So I hope that that other state has a good website where you can find that information out.
So let me repeat. So you can go to look for Aging and Disabilities Resource Connection for your
Yep.
state
Mhm.
and look for Area Agency on Aging in
Yes.
their state.
Another option is the elder care locator. So let me see if I just want to make sure of that website really quick, but elder care locator is a good resource as well. So the elder care locator it is a service of the Administration on Community Living. So that's the uh, our federal unit on aging. Elder care, it's eldercare.acl.gov. So I'll put that in the chat, and that's always a good way to find your area agency on aging.
Cool. Yeah, if you put in chat, Jen, you can copy it and put it in the total overall chat.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you
Yes.
for that question, Elder Angela, because
Yes.
and for people in Atlanta, some and not just if you're not in the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission, I know there's the Middle Georgia Regional Commission, like people up in Macon and those areas, Columbus, and then you have the Atlanta, if you're in the Rockdale County even, you're right on the border almost of Newton. But people in Rockdale and DeKalb and all that, you in the ARC, Atlanta Regional
Right.
Commission.
Hmm.
So there are you don't get discouraged. You have resources, and that's what we're talking. The Lord wants us to think about. There's resources at your fingertips. I needed y'all to get this, so I'm so excited. Thank you, Megan. This was beautiful. Woo!
You're welcome. And then
Yes.
if someone's been in the nursing home for a shorter amount of time, so rehab, then rehab for 20 days, and they are 55 and older, we can consider them for nursing home transitions. So this is a program that is similar to Money Falls the Person. It's a smaller budget, but we use the funds to help somebody move safely from rehab back to their home. So a lot of the people who are in that program, they're usually coming back to the community by themselves. They need help with like building a ramp or purchasing certain items so that they can remain in the home safely. And all of these programs, again, yes, they're warm and fuzzy and they help people be independent, but they save money. If we
Mm,
can help people get back into their homes and they've got some equipment, they got some home modifications, they don't fall, they've got some nutritious food, they don't get hungry and which exas we all know. You don't have to be a nutritionist
mhm.
to know that poor nutrition will exacerbate any health conditions you have, and then guess what happens? You go to the hospital. Guess what's expensive? Hospitals. So
Yes.
nursing home transitions, the goal is that people do not go back into getting admitted to a hospital and rehab. So again, our programs we're all warm and fuzzy, but the goal is for us to use our money wisely.
Amen.
So this is how you can make a referral. You can call us directly. Our 800 number is 888-808-8020. Calls are answered Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Our program assistant will speak to the caller and assign to an appropriate options counselor. The options counselor will return the call within 48 hours. That is our standard of promptness, and provide information referral or complete the intake. If they're appropriate, then our intake staff will forward to the senior manager to assign for screening if needed.
Nice.
I believe that's everything. What are
Hmm.
some questions or thoughts that anyone has right now? I'll grab Mark's contact information and put that in the chat, but uh,
I don't know if she's got questions, but I got a question. So let's
yes, ma'am.
say I've worked with like I said, this program, the EDWP program, a CCSP, and we had visiting nurse health systems assigned to us. And so let's say somebody heard about them. With BJM Dementia Services, we're telling people about different places or innovative um solutions. It's called Innovative Senior Solutions. Let's say they're an organization that goes and does this type of stuff. If a person calls and they want to get that specific organization, can they say that? If they call and say, "Hey, I need this help, and I've heard about this company, I've researched, can you connect me to them?" Can they ask for that, or you don't just assign them to who you want them to have, do you?
Yes, we don't assign, and that's kind of why I'm concerned that you said you were assigned visiting nurse health system, because one thing I really like about the elderly disabled waiver is that there's a lot of choice. It's almost too much choice for our applicants at first, because once we do the screening, the applicant has to choose their care coordination agency. So visiting nurse health system, if they send us the referral, what we do is we'll remind that client, we say, this referral came from visiting nurse health system. Do you want them to be your care coordination agency, or do you want to choose another care coordination agency? You always have a choice. And this is really important because that you can always change if something's not working. If you're not getting the response you need from the care coordination agency, you usually have at least two or three others that you can choose from and change your services. Same with your provider. So if you start out with a provider and they don't have aides, or you just want to try a different company, then your care coordination agency can help you with changing that. So yes, the client is always the one that has the choice.
Yes. And I was glad about that choice, just by the way. So I don't know if they somebody it's been so long ago. I know it was brought up to me, but while I had them, there was also, like you said, we had providers coming with CNAs, and we didn't that if they didn't work out, we could easily let the care coordinator know and get another person in within the same week. You know, that it's not like it's painful. I think I really want people that are caregivers of all sorts to hear this and know that there's help for you, right? There is help. And people, if you're going through something, disabled or elderly, or even somebody like 21, like Gina said, she didn't know 21 and up, but you got some situations that's affecting your health and you need help, this
Mhm.
program's for you.
At the end of, if you don't remember anything else, the important thing is to know who to contact to get accurate information. The internet is wonderful. I'm a big fan of the internet, but I have found that if you just Google something related to aging, related to disability, whatever, you're going to get a lot of conflicting information. I see it on Facebook a lot. I don't, I'm not gonna hop in and be a know-it-all, but I do want people to know who to contact to get accurate and unbiased information. So please call us directly. You can email me and any question about related to aging or disability. We operate a no wrong door system. So that means that even if you call us and it's not a program we provide, hopefully we can provide you with the accurate information about it. So we are well educated about our partners like Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability, so mental health, developmental disability services, um, our other Medicaid waivers, independent care waiver. We know how we can answer some questions about getting admitted to a nursing home. We can answer questions about hospice, home health, inpatient rehab. So, and yeah, our goal is always to provide accurate and unbiased information. So please keep us in mind for that as you try to wade through all the information that you might be seeing on the internet from family, things like that.
I know that I saw Michelle Kelly get on too, and I just want to commend this group, this organization. I've started with Katrina and I met her, and it's just been a marvelous partnership. The things I've learned, the training that I've received from this group, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you again for being a part of our Wellness Wednesday. It really means so much. Megan and the entire team. Thank you all so much. Thank you for those that are joining either on Zoom and on Facebook and on YouTube. And this you can play this back. You can get this link and send it to your family and friends. It's here for you to get this information. So are there any other questions, Gina, that we have?
No, we're all good.
All right. Well, we got a couple more minutes for the announcements. And Michelle, I don't know if you wanted to share any comments or anything. Feel free if you wanted to chime in. We're going to share the rest of our announcements.
No, I would just want to thank Megan for doing such a great job and thank you for allowing us to be a part of your events. We appreciate it.
You are welcome. Thank you all so much. It was just phenomenal. Phenomenal. You're getting some hand claps there, Megan. I don't know if you saw that.
Thank you. And thank you, Michelle, for the kind words and for supporting me this evening. I appreciate that. It
Hmm.
means a lot.
Yes. So let's go to the announcements today. I want to show what's up for happening in the week. I hope that you all were blessed today and that you enjoyed tonight's program. I know I was just blown away by what I heard about that the money follows the person, the transitions program. So one of the things I wanted to point out is that we have the BJM Dementia Services Caregiver Respite Scholarship. And so if you are a primary caregiver and you of a person living with dementia and you can attest that you are the primary caregiver, our organization offers a $200 scholarship for respite. Now, the word respite is to take a break or a time of refreshing after dealing with something that is a difficult and unpleasant. And so a lot of times as caregivers, we don't want to admit that this is hard. And this is sometimes unpleasant. Truth be told, it's a lot of work. And sometimes when you there constantly and not don't have a break and you didn't know about these programs, then you could use this $200 to either pay for an adult day service, pay for somebody to come in, pay to go get your nails done while you have somebody. You can get on these programs now, and then you can take that $200 and go get you a break, get your nails done, go to a movie, live life a little bit and get a break. So we want to tell people that you can go and apply at watmcares.org. We have resources there. This is my mom's legacy, and we're very blessed and excited to be able to bless people with this. As part of Alter Dementia, scholarship, they actually help support this, the Alter Dementia organization, in partnership with them. And then thank you to the donors. It's not just Alter Dementia. We have had people donate, corporate donors. We need donors still. We want to give out as many of these scholarships as we can. So please apply. And then um, we have a memory cafe coming up. Last week, Katrina Obey talked about what a memory cafe is. So I just talked about a respite or a break. Well, a memory cafe is a type of respite program where the care partner and the one living with dementia can come to the Senior Services Center. And for 2 hours, you have activities, you have volunteers, you have food, and you have an opportunity to connect. People living with dementia can connect with other people that are thriving and living with dementia, while the caregivers are able to connect with people that can relate to what they're doing and what they're going through. And meanwhile, there's opportunities to learn, to grow, to laugh. Because truth be told, I say it all the time, the person living with dementia needs a break too from the caregiver. And so it's really a twofold blessing for both you and them. So if you scan the QR code, you can register. We have a new date. It's supposed to go live February 27th, but we changed the date to March 27th as the new Senior Enrichment Center in Newton County is still have a little more tweaks to do. I went over and toured it. It is beautiful. And so we are blessed to be able to have this in partnership with the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission and the Newton County Senior Services, BJM Dementia Services. I served as the project manager to drive this through. So I'm so excited and blessed to be able to share that. A couple other announcements. March 20th through the 21st is the Exposed Dementia Conference in Maryland. So if you're in Linthicum, Maryland, or the Baltimore, Maryland area, this is an excellent conference. I'm a part of the Exposed Dementia team, and so C. Nathaniel Brown is the founder of this, and so it's using the arts to expose dementia. So you have all type of films, and you have Teepa Snow there. The Grogan family, they actually are funding this for comedy. So you got laughter. So they have comedy now for dementia. The Grogan couple, they are the ones supporting that. So it's going to really be nice. And so you can log in to exposedementia.org, and that way you can find out more and register for that conference. In Atlanta, we have the Alter Dementia Summit coming up again, the annual Dementia Summit. You can register as a group, your churches. Remember, this is altering how churches um, share the worship experience with people living with dementia and their care partners. So that's April 23rd through the 25th. And you can log into alterdementia.com and then look for the Alter-Summit. If you just search Alter Dementia, you'll find this organization and then go to the summit. So they also have a youth track. So people ages 12 to 22, there's a whole track there because that's a conversation in itself about the forgotten caregiver, which is a young person. Go help grandma, go help aunt so and so, go help your grandpa and their caregiving too, but we sometimes forget how they feel or to check in. So there's a whole youth track for that. So if you have questions or you want to reach out to us and give us feedback and feed forward, we sure would appreciate it. You can check us on Instagram. We do put the YouTube link there too on Instagram or Facebook at WATMINC. You can message us there. You can email us at watmcares@gmail.com or go to our website, watmcares.org. We have other programs for cancer care. We have the dementia care. We have domestic violence support. There's other things that we have for neighbors in need. And so to be able to donate, what if you're somebody, you saw this and you're like, I want to help with what they are doing at Without a Trace Ministries at BGM Dementia Services? Well, there's 4 ways you can give. You can donate through Cash App at $WATM. You can donate through Zelle at Without a Trace Ministries at gmail.com. You can donate on our website, if you go to withouttraceministries.com or that watmcares.org, there are donate buttons there. And then you can go old school with the snail mail and mail a check or money order, a cashier's check to 3826 Salem Road, number 84, Covington, Georgia, 30016. And what's gonna happen? We're gonna care for the community. That's what we do. And so thank you again for joining with us and tuning in. Thanks again to you, Megan, and to the entire Northeast Georgia Regional Commission team for being a part of what we're doing. Next month, March 18th, it's not over. Hallelujah. And that's a word from the Lord. It's not over. You didn't know about all these resources that were available to you. And guess what? Next month, March 18th, write it down, mark your calendars. We're going to have Miss Tasha Lewis come to us. And she's a quality assurance senior manager. She's going to talk about assistive technology. Megan mentioned it a bit, but she's going to go into detail about assistive technology for elderly and people with dementia. I really think you should tune into this because there could be some reasons why your loved one is giving you some challenges in the restroom and at bath time and shower time and other areas. And it's because we don't know what we don't know. So this is why we're here at BJM Dementia Services to help you know. Because when you know better, you what? Do better. And so we want to thank you again. We want to end here. And I think that's the last slide. Gina, I'm gonna stop sharing. And we want to thank you all once more. And I do want to say that I asked the Lord what to share. And I think it was so much hope today. You know, there's a scripture in Zechariah that talks about the prisoners of hope. There's double portions coming, double is coming to the prisoners of hope, double blessings. And so some people have been in a prison of hoping, I don't know what to do. And I believe today was your day to receive this information because you know what? Our mantra is that we enlighten and empower people to be free, one home at a time. Today, I know somebody was enlightened and empowered with this information. I want to say God bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you all the grace that you need to go through what you're going through right now. And that you will have his shalom, shalom peace. I'm talking about that's that peace that grandmama and them talked about. Peace that passes all understanding, surpassive understanding. Peace that puts chaos into captivity so that you can move forward in your life. We bless you and have a good night tonight. Thank you all for joining.